It would help if I took the mute off, wouldn't it? It's like starting every meeting you ever started. Where's your mute? Can you take your mute off? Can everybody hear me now okay? We're trying here. I hope it's working. Oh, there we go. We're hoping this one's working, everybody. Oh, word. I'm hoping that's it now. Okay, I'm gonna make some adjustments here. I apologize to everybody. If you had any idea the tech issues, hi friend, we can hear you. Thank you. If you had any idea the tech issues that I just went through for the last like 45 minutes, it's like a wedding. Yeah. We can only hope that that's the case. Everybody, I'm gonna go through the chat here in a second. Ugh. Hmm. I guess there's a first for everything, and this being my first YouTube live stream means that something's not gonna go quite as expected. So, well, I certainly know that Gibby from Ohio guy because I happen to be married to him, so hi. Wilma from New Jersey, hi. Thank you for waiting and being so patient. I hope you stuck around. Wilma, tell me the kinds of things that you're interested in talking about tonight on the live stream. Do you have questions about spirituality in general, about mediumship? Are you interested in maybe getting like a really brief energy healing just for any acute kind of pain symptoms, something that I can get done in just a matter of a few minutes, see if we can kind of turn that dial down for you on pain. See who else we've got here. Shanna, hi everyone. Hello, hello. Oh, Leslie, thank you. You're pretty too. I guess pretty friends have pretty friends, huh? Susie, you have a question. I'd love to help you with a question. Hi, Denise. How are you tonight? I hope you're doing okay. You guys are too cute and too sweet. Just should I give my son the blue heart? Well, that is an interesting question. Wilma, my health having issues with my heart. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Wilma. Let me check in with Susie here about giving her son the blue heart for just a moment. Just so everybody knows, the way that I work, I do tend to just take a moment and get quiet. I myself prefer to not do like real quick, yes and no, rapid fire. You'll see that kind of stuff on like Instagram lives and TikTok lives. If I'm going to do this, I actually would prefer to take a moment and tune into your energy and see if we can get some information for you. So, Susie, should you give yourself a blueprint? Just okay, interesting. There is there's something I'm getting a yes first and foremost, but there's something that's coming in about it that feels like it's not an absolute or hand it to him. There's something maybe with uh, not quite yet, or there's like a lead in time of some sort. There's something that's supposed to occur, some preparation. Um, can't necessarily get that it's like an age related thing. There's some sort of preparation that feels like it's supposed to come in first and foremost before you go ahead and give that to him. Let me know if that much so far is making any sense for you because I'm actually getting like the sensation and the image of like moving into it rather than a handover. So let me know if that's anything that would make any sense for you so far. Wilma, I will come back and check with you regarding the heart. Of course, I'm not a medical professional. I cannot diagnose and treat, but in terms of something that can I like just check the energy around the circumstance for you? Then I'm happy to do that for you. And Susie, thank you for putting up the current list. Okay, so yep, that does make sense for you that there would be some sort of preparatory period of time or yeah. Oh, Leslie, you're so sweet. Yes, I've been on Leslie's podcast. If you ever want to go look for a new podcast that has to do with like paranormal, spiritual, near-death experiencers, which if I had my way, I would actually change to temporary death experience, because they actually did pass. They actually did die. It's not a near death. It is an actual death, and then they came back. But it's called because I want to know, and I've been a guest on her podcast. I can't remember if it's 3 times, 2 or 3 times, but she has some really cool episodes on there. But yep, 100%. Okay, Susie, if there's additional question that you have regarding that preparatory time, let me know, and I can try to see if any additional information comes up for it. So it is feeling like a yes eventually when that preparation has taken place first and foremost. Um, so I can still pop back in. Let's see, Wilma. Wilma, I'm gonna scan your energy and um, see if anything's coming up through the body or through the chakras, and see if anything is really popping out at me real quickly. So give me a second just to clear and get into that. The first thing that's coming up, actually, Wilma, do you have pressure that comes up at the base of the skull? There's kind of like a pressure sensation that's coming up there. So I don't know if you're aware if this could be something where you experience, pressure or headache or something like that, but I don't know if you are aware of anything that could tie down, like, from the cardiovascular system or anything. Of course, there's a lot of vasculature that goes through the sides of the neck, but this is coming up like at the base of the skull back there. Right, I just wanted to check in. One of these days I'll do this with my contacts in, but I don't love them, so, let me see, Wilma. Okay, so I do feel just the slightest bit of discomfort. It's actually kind of beginning, like just underneath the collarbones and running down the side of the sternum, but it's coming down and curving underneath the rib cage as well. I don't know if and again, I'm not a medical professional. I certainly have only, limited experience and knowledge directly into this. I would never tell you whether to or to not treat other than to say, please see your proper medical provider. Do not ever, especially something heart related, do not ever let that go to the wayside because somebody on YouTube wrote something. Okay, please, please, please. But there is like a squeezing or pressure sensation. Do you experience like an angina kind of related pressure or anything along those lines? Yes. Oh, is that related to the neck? Okay. Now, I'd be happy if you're willing to stick around for just a few minutes. I'd be happy to kind of clear through the energy, the stagnant energy at the back of the neck there, to see if that kind of relieves any of the pressure that you get there. And I can't help but think if there's also sort of some like nervous system, like the vasovagal system that because I believe that starts at the back of the head and comes down the sides of the neck and then runs through the center of the body. This can really be affected by stress, fatigue, especially circumstances where there's kind of like an ongoing stress, chronic stress circumstance where you're kind of stuck in that fight, flight, freeze circumstance. Yes, okay. Um, all I'm doing here, I like to let people know what I'm doing because otherwise I look like a crazy person kind of swooping my hands around, right? And I'm okay with that because it's going to be for the purpose of providing service and help to you. But I'm just sort of scraping through any stagnant energy through that part of your body, and then we're just going to tossing it out of the way. Uh, I'll come back to the in a moment. I suppose thank you for being patient with me, guys, because I do. If I'm going to come in, I do want to take care of you guys. Okay. Um, I do wonder about this. Well, I'm going to check quick. Okay. Okay, I see you, Denise. I see you, Shanna. Um, I'm just relaxing that vagus nerve here. I am gonna get just a little extra quiet here for a moment because I'm going to actually send energy in to those areas in hopes that this will give sort of the feeling like, wow, I can move my head and neck for a moment. You know, like we get stressed and we got that tension in our shoulders, we got the tension in our neck, high stress situations, long-term stress situations, anything like that, and you feel like everything's crunchy and tight. And the hope will be that that'll make your head feel like it's floating on top of your neck like it's supposed to. Sort of how we tend to feel when we have those chronic circumstances coming up. And I hope you are following up, Wilma, with the proper medical treatments and providers. Don't ever want to play around with the heart, especially as women, because the way the heart can kind of mimic 100 other things. Like, you know, I just formally entered into my postmenopausal time frame of like around this time, actually last year, and the amount of symptoms and experiences and physical and emotional, like everything overlaps in so many ways, and you never want to disregard what you're experiencing and just blow it off to go, well, it's probably just this, you know, stressful job. Definitely. Wilma, that stressful job. Okay. So I am centering now with that and out of the way, I'm centering it into the energy in the front of your chest here. I'm going to do just a little bit here just to get any of that clogged up, backed up energy out of the chest area. I'm going to use my pendulum here for a moment too. So when my pendulum goes kind of clockwise while I'm doing healings, it's just sort of helping to pull stagnant energy out. That job, it's something you've been at for a while, and there's something where it feels like you're um, like having to kind of walk on eggshells and watch your words, or no, no. Walk on eggshells, yes, but it's actually feeling like it's more related to the inability to really kind of say what you need to say and not be attacked for it. So it's feeling like the way that the back um, of the neck has tightened a little bit, throat chakra related to like you're not able to freely express what you need. Okay, that's relaxing a little bit more through the chest area too. Yes, okay. I have worked in circumstances similar to that. Thankfully, it's not one that I'm experiencing, at least in terms of management right now. But this feels like, you know, you're kind of experiencing where you're just not safe to speak the way you need to speak, and you're having to choose your words. And it feels like it's probably related to like leadership management, you know, somebody. So I'm sorry that that's your, yeah, okay, okay. I have had that experience. Thankfully, it was a long time ago. That specific experience is not one that I have right now, but I do understand what that feels like. Sorry to hear that's the case for you. So, what we can hope, okay, I'm going to close up for you, Wilma. What we can hope is that getting a little bit of that on a Friday night might help all of this feel like you can breathe a little more better, or a little more better, excuse me, I do speak English. That is my first language and only language, a little bit better, and, um, and allow a little bit more relaxation while you make it through your evening, while you make it through the weekend, heading into work on Monday. So I hope that that's helpful to you, my dear. Um, Thank you for the opportunity to try to help you with that as well. So, Susie, what have we got here? Okay. Current list, Denise. Denise, wondering about my health. Also, I had double mastectomy 3 years ago. I'm also worried about cancers. Honey, I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, it's unfortunate that that breast cancers are as rampant as they are, right? That's something personal to me as well. And as a matter of fact, my little butterfly logo is due to someone that I cared about very, very much who went through a similar experience. So, um, in terms of your health, are you asking a question? Are you wanting me to scan you for, like, again, I'm not a medical provider. I'm never going to pretend to be. So I can scan your body in relation to where energy may be stagnant, where it may be built up, and where you may need a little bit of relaxation around that. But I'm never going to do it in the respect of, trying to create a diagnosis of some sort. So you're welcome, Mama. I'm so happy that I could try to help you tonight. So Denise, if you're still here with us, let me know um, if you're looking for any. Oh, okay, I did see that part. Thank you, Susie. Next question. Let me know if you're wanting me to do. Now, I'm also not going to give like a future psychic prediction around something of such a severe health circumstance, but I again can try to. Would like to that skin, yes. I know. Okay, I know. You just said you have to put the disclaimers out. I won't ever want somebody to have confused about that. So let me scan you and just see where you have any energy clogged up. Uh, so bear with me here, Denise, for a moment. Thank you for your patience. I am just hitting like an absolute like flat panel sticking here. So I'm going to try to release that. It it actually isn't feeling like it's related to the throat specifically. It feels like we're just when we're working through the energy through the body system, through the seven main chakras, which run through the entirety of the torso. The goal for human. It doesn't work this way all the time, but the goal would be that the energy coming from source, God, spirit, your higher self, your past loved ones, whatever your belief system is, it doesn't matter. It's all coming from the universe and source energy coming down through while we're also able to drag up from the ground up through our feet and then hopefully coming both directions, meeting in the middle on the heart space, where that's the middle of the chakras. Okay. So this doesn't specifically feel related to the throat, but it is in that area. And I'm just going to try to break that up a little bit and clear that out so that energy can flow through. Um, and there's no surprise, this does actually feel fear related. This, oh, it's like blocking what may be coming below and the fear around. And I can feel my stomach clenching and tightening up too. So we're going to move more through there as well. I will say, in terms of how the energy is presenting itself right now for you, Denise, that the heart space is actually, uh, it's actually quite open and it actually feels very just soft and tender in there. Has this been like a wild journey of discovering self-love for you? There's like a really, really overwhelming swelling sensation, like an appreciation and love for who you are, what you've done, what you've been through. And I can say from personally, family and or friends watching people unfortunately go through the cancer diagnosis and the treatment and the surgeries that are involved. I have seen people who have just trucked along. I have seen people who have found a religious outlet. I have seen people who have gone to the side of just pure anger. Um, but this feels like a swelling of love. So I want to congratulate you on being able to find that through, difficult physical, mental, and emotional times. My ears ringing now. I'm just softening your stomach. This just feels like it's related to like a consistent worry. Even though you're experiencing this love, is it true that you're either experiencing this as like a consistent worry or that something is coming or happening now that's leading you into a heightened state of worry? So I don't know if you're like having to go for follow-ups or if you are kind of doing like, oh, I've been feeling like this way, um, and I'm worried that I'm experiencing these things because something else is coming. But it's definitely kind of like a tight, okay, I'm not going to force anything. I'm never, ever, ever going to force through the energy, but it is fairly thick in there. So I'm just going to release through that a little bit, Denise. Okay. Just want to see if we're able to get a little bit of softening of the energy through there. Okay. It's a lifetime of traumas and work hard to stay healthy. I'm going to. Gotcha. Okay. 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 That has softened on my side. It did go ahead and release through there. I'm hoping that that's going to leave you with a little bit of relief too. So, okay, Denise. I want to say that I'm astounded with people who can make it through that kind of journey, who can come out the other side and know what you've been through, who can, you know, find ways of supporting themselves so that you're able to continue on after something so difficult. My brother has had several year cancer journey himself, and it's been really difficult to watch from the outside and watch the experience that he's gone through as well. And I just want to send all of that to you. Um, I want to say again, following up with the proper providers that you need to, I want to say it to me at this moment feels as though your level of worry is heavier than you may at this very moment in time currently require it to be. So anything you can do to allow yourself to step into the understanding that you're supported, surround yourself with the right people, and give yourself a little bit of grace for what you've gone through. Okay. So thank you, Denise, for letting me do that for you. Uh, let me see. Mm-mm. Oh, I know we have a list going here. I see Sarah was on the list, but I think we have somebody before that. There's a cat on the list. Oh, Shanna, I did see you earlier. Thank you. I hope I'm saying your name right because it's one N instead of Shanna. Um, I have scapulohumeral muscular dystrophy and live in constant pain and discomfort. I'm not sure this type of thing, but I also lost my older dog in September and my heart's, oh, I'm so sorry, honey. I do animal communication and I do mediumship. Um, I'm sorry to hear that you're in constant pain. I recently was provided a diagnosis of the pain circumstances that I've been experiencing for several years, nothing to the extent that what you're dealing with. Um, but if do have a specific area of the body that has Shayna, thank you. If you do have a specific area of the body that you're like currently experiencing the highest level of pain, I'd be happy to kind of dive in and work on that. You said you lost your dog. Uh, I will admit I'm not quite sure if I'm immediately in the space of mediumship, but let's just sit for a moment. I'm going to connect into your energy. And we're just going to, because we're kind of doing, short um, bits of assistance here tonight. I'm just going to connect into your energy and sort of see what is needing the most attention at the moment. I will also check in on the chat here briefly. I feel a lot of pressure, upper back, neck, shoulders. I was just going to say I feel a lot of pressure in my crown. Okay. Let me see what that says. Upper back, neck, shoulders, and constant headaches. Okay, that's the So I do have a couple techniques regarding pain. So I'm going to use the one first that tends to get me the fastest results in the most cases. And I'm only going to do this for like maybe 2, 3 minutes. I am going to just a bit quiet for some of it because there's a little extra kind of like channeling of the energy that I do for this particular method. So I'm going to work here for a moment. The head, neck, and upper back traps kind of area real quickly here for you, Sheena. I'm going to clear through the head a little bit first. It feels like I have like a metal bar pressing across the forehead. Stick with me here, guys. Thank you, chat, for being patient. Thank you, everybody who's here, for being patient while I try to help Sheena. Okay, I'm going to let that run for just a moment there, Shayna. And thank you, Susie, for the current list. We'll move on after I'm finished with Shayna here. And for dog September. Let me know, Shayna, if you're noticing. So or in a really brief moment of healing, if you don't mind putting in the chat, like if you started at currently like a 7 or an 8, tell me where you are now in the pain scale. 0 is I have no pain, everything's great, I'm hunky dory. 10 is I don't know if I can stand another minute on this earth. I'm going into shock, taking me to the hospital. So on that scale, let me know where you started and where you are now, and if there's any change in the like consistency or the type of discomfort you're experiencing now. Um, and I will say also that it's not uncommon when I do this kind of healing that over the next like 20, 30 minutes, you may continue to notice a little bit extra relief come in over time as that integrates more. So let me know how that's doing. Just one moment to check one other thing. And also real briefly, your dog, I do get a little bit different prepared specifically to do mediumship, but I'm just going to see your dog. We'll see. We'll give it a shot. Um, I feel like your dog is coming in behind my left side. The left side tends to be more the feminine energy side. So it would be like that was a girl, or I go with a girl. And I like to give my frame of reference when I'm doing animals as well, because my animals, I have 4 dogs right now. They go from um, started at 7, that's my baseline, now down to a 6-ish. Okay, I'll try to hit one more time and see if we can get you down a little lower. Lower if I can. My dogs currently run from about, like, 62 pounds up to 170 pounds. So my frame of reference when I say a medium-ish sized dog, I feel like medium-ish sized, I wanna say your dog I would venture in, like, the 30 to 60 pounds, as close to that as I can range. And I feel like I'm seeing that there's multicolor, so not primarily all one color. It seems like there's, like, browns or blacks, and then also, like, lights or creams. There's kind of a mixture of colors on your dog. Girl, Maya, oh, what a sweet, sweet name. Okay. Okay, good. So we did get girl. Um, anything else for her before you do another on your head? Was she pretty, like, spry, at least in her youth? Like, she gives me the energy of, I would almost say, like, I wouldn't be surprised if she had been, like, a working dog because she gives me the energy of, like, a dog that really wanted to, like, kinda run and play a lot, and with that, she's sorta saying, "I I'm, like, running and playing like a mad woman now." There is very much, 70-ish, okay, mostly brown and black, got the white one, okay. Let me know if the energy is right because she's giving me it's almost like she's running around and then coming in front of and kind of give me like a play bow and smiling and panting at. So usually that's giving me a sign that they were in fact energetic, and that's partly what their personality is, but also to say, I'm able to do this again. So whatever occurred that maybe she wasn't able to do that, she wanted you to know that she's running and playing again. While you're coming back in regarding that, have pussy, she love to play and run. Okay, because I have a dog that plays and runs, and my big dog is afraid of everything that you see outside, and he goes out, he does his business immediately, wants to come back in. So, like, I run the gamut. So, that's so sweet. I actually really, really love boxes. I think they're so sweet. All right, I'm gonna do one more round on you, Shannon, and then I'm gonna move on. Okay, bear with me, chat. Thank you, everybody, for being patient while I help Shayna. I'm gonna move on to as many of you as I can in the time that I'm on tonight. A little bit more. Ooh, okay. Something I was working up your back between your shoulder blades and then up the back of your neck, and something actually even kind of lifted and pulled out of my chest. Okay, let that settle in for oh, you're welcome, honey. Yeah, she was a sweet energy. She was very, very sweet, and, I love the playfulness, the way she kinda played out at me. Um, let me know if we've been able to bring you down from a 6, and if there's any change to the quality, like if it was throbbing, pounding before and now it's sort of like a dull A, anything like that too, just so we can see. But thank you for allowing me to work with you a little bit, and, thank you for you don't have to scroll. I'm gonna load the questions because Susie's a rock star. By the way, if anybody needs an astrologer who kicks the most ass that you've ever seen in your entire life, Susie Evolutionary, that is chat and has been an absolute savior to me today. When I tell you the things that this woman has been able to see in my chart, my husband's chart, my kids' charts, down to the November 20th new moon, knowing exactly what was going to happen with my daughter that night, and it did. So, Kathy, just said, I have esophageal spirals, but it feels like a heart issue. What you see? Okay. Again, not a medical professional. I'm not going to diagnose. I'm not going to treat. But I absolutely can check into that energy for you. Let me just disconnect from that a little bit here. This picture in your head feels like it's gone down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I know sometimes with those longer term chronic, you know, kind of lifelong circumstances, it can be a little bit difficult to get like a really, really big impact in a super short amount of time. But I'm actually going to steal this from Charles Goldsmith. If you've ever heard of him, he's known as the healer. Coming back, I promise. And one thing he says, because not every healer is for every person, not every technique is going to work on every issue. And one thing that he says is if you've had any impact in your pain level in a short period of time with something like energy healing, then you know something's possible. So whatever the case may be, however you find that, whatever treatment styles you're able to find, you know that the possibility exists. And that in and of itself sometimes can help, just know I'm not destined to only feel this bad forever. There are potential ways that can relieve that, right? And when I heard you say that, I was like, stealing it, giving credit where it's due. Um, okay, Kathy, check into the esophagus. Let's see. Give me just a second to get into the energy there real well, Kathy. Bear with me. Let me use a different technique here. The top of the throat, and we're going straight forward and back, nothing there. I'm going to move the energy down to middle throat, move the energy down to the base of the throat. Okay, the very base of the throat, that notch where the collarbones come together, there is some stagnant energy in that area. Interesting. I'm getting counterclockwise, which is how it helps move energy out, but there is slightly oblique. Okay, I'm going to move it down into the upper sternum. Nothing there. Down into the middle of the chest at the heart space. Nothing there. A little bit lower and up to the left. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of here, kind of closer towards the where it spreads open to the rib cage, where, right after, oh, interesting. I'm going to remove energy that's clogged up through that whole area for you. Just going to scrape on the outside. So a lot of times when I'm doing energy healing, I can actually feel at least some level of the physical sensations that you're experiencing. I am actually not picking those up at all currently. And I'm always going to be honest with you. So I'm just going to clear through there. And do you ever actually feel discomfort in your middle back as well? Because now I'm starting to actually, it's almost like the base of the shoulder blades where it wraps around the rib cage. In there, it's almost like it's radiating down around. So Kathy, do you get discomfort back in that area at all? So I want to put it to you this way. The way the energy is presenting to me feels like it's primarily coming up in the lower esophageal area. Um, I do not have the capacity, the training, the licensing, any the credentials to be able to tell whether that means it's esophageal or it's heart. I cannot tell you that. I can just tell you where the energy is showing up. Um, Again, I was saying, to someone earlier that with women, when there's a heart thing, it can show up in different places and present different ways. I'm going to send some energy now that I've got that out of the way. But I also know, there's a reason they call it heartburn. Like if you're getting esophageal reflux or you have an esophageal stricture, things of that nature. Kathy, they're in a minute. Depression fracture. Okay, so I picked up your picked it back. All right, we're just going to send energy together. Make sure you keep up with your treatment plan and keep following up with the provider. Anything needed. And by the way, I just want to say this too. Thank you, Shayna. I appreciate you joining tonight. um, okay. Oh, okay. Um, oh, yes. I just want to mention, as women, not that this can't happen to men as well, but as women, how frequently we are dismissed for our level of pain or the way we're experiencing our symptoms. And I want to stand up and scream as an advocate that if you are seeing a provider who is not hearing your words, find another one. Please, please, please find another one. I promise you, there will always be other providers available. Please go find another one. I have been incredibly lucky to have been able to, in the most recent, find providers that listen to my words and do not dismiss me. And to the extent where a month and a half or so, month, I left the doctor's office and I was crying on my way home. Right into my husband's chest home because he heard me. And I was so grateful. I'm still sending some energy in here, Kathy. I was so grateful for the fact that, uh, oh, you just found out 2 weeks ago about that L5 fracture. Oh, I'm sorry about that. My mom had a herniated disc in her lumbar spine when I was in college. Not that that's exactly the same, but that lower spine. Um, it's interesting. I'm kind of feeling it more in the. I'm wondering if you get like muscle contractions and pain that like they call it referred pain, where your problem is in one spot, but you might be feeling some of the pain in another spot because of the way that the muscles attach. So I would if that might possibly be the case, but okay, Gia has just stepped running. Kathy, yeah, just really, really, truly, your doctor isn't hearing you. Your doctor is dismissing anything. If you feel like you need a second opinion, that is your life, that is your health. Please go get a second opinion or find another doctor. Talk to friends, check local community pages. If you have a good primary care, say, I feel like I need a different pulmonologist. And really, if it's esophageal, can we see a GI doctor instead? Don't be afraid. Can we see a cardiologist to rule all of that out? Don't be afraid of that. So thank you very much for allowing me to do a little work on you, Kathy. I hope that that's helpful information, and I hope that you end up feeling maybe just a little relaxed this evening. So I see Tara. Let me find you in here, Tara. I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. Thank you for joining me. This is actually really fun and exciting. I know I'm such a goofball, Tara. I'm in constant pain every day. My legs hurt every day. No one seems to know why. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I had back problems. I was recently diagnosed with osteoporosis. They do never takes the pain away. I am so, so sorry, Tara. Oh, you just put it in there too. Thank you. Okay. Osteoporosis, legs and back. Okay, Tara, we'll tap into your energy. I'm going to connect fully from Kathy for a moment. Spasms of my hips, feet. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Kathy. Places. Okay. I wanna make sure that I keep good energy for the people who are here. Really quick, Tara, before Susie, I think you said Sarah and Donna are left. I wanna make sure that my energy doesn't deplete and I end up not being of any good service to anybody. So Susie, I am gonna ask if, after Sarah and Donna, you can just help people, otherwise in the chat know that we have closed the chat or closed for questions or work after Donna is over, so that I definitely have enough energy to get that. And anybody else who's interested, you can find me on all the socials, and Susie's been putting in the chat to help me out and my landing page. So, okay, Tara. uh, okay. Tara, some of the pain that you're having, I know you said lower back and legs, but very, very, very specifically, the sacrum, like the SI joints and across the sacrum. And I'm getting, rather than like directly in the hips, I'm getting what to me feels more like kind of tension and quite honestly, kind of like across the buttons. Right now, my right one seems to be up a little bit more. Let me know if that is an area, at least one of the areas that you're experiencing that. Tara, yeah, okay. Okay, let me work through there first. Let's see. The right side, just a little bit more, either more frequent or, you're welcome, Kathy, honey. A little bit more either right now or the side that tends to hurt a little bit more, one or the other, because the right is lighting up a little bit higher for me just at this moment. Excuse my shoulder just popped and cracked when I did that. Oh my God, all kinds of I kinda joke sometimes, I'm like, "Oh, my hand's turned on." I've got really wild energy running through my hands right now. I'm also feeling it kind of move, like, up the spine, and this is interesting, it's like a zigzag pattern. The left side from, like, the base of the rib cage down, like, along like, from the spine over to, where some of us have, like, a little bit of, above the hip side, love handles. That area is lighting up, but then it's bouncing like a zigzag down to the right butt cheek. Just gonna smooth through this. Side down there, okay. It's everywhere. Yes, a lot around the so I said that without my glasses. Um, I'm interested in the fact that they said osteoporosis, but you're having this much soft tissue pain. Okay. Side, okay. Sometimes that counterbalance might okay. One way or another, there is still, energy that is wanting and needing to be moved out on that it's kind of like I'm gonna show you. It's kind of like this area, if I'm in the screen enough, this area on that lower back on the left side, but then the right be yeah, I just said it, you're welcome. Um, so I'm gonna work to I've cleared all of that out. Um, I'm just gonna some healing into that to see if we can help alleviate some of the tension that you're feeling. Hang with me, guys. A little bit more, Tara. Thank you guys for being so sweet and so patient in the chat. I really, really appreciate it because I know with that kind of quiet, I just appreciate you guys hanging out and letting me work on the people before you. Okay. It's everywhere. It's with your mind. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your nine daily. I so I have myofascial pain syndrome, and I've actually been feeling a lot better the last couple of days. Actually, quite good, surprising. I am utilizing some supplements and things that to be helpful when I get into a place like it takes my breath away. It and I have actually had moments where I thought I was so nauseous I was going to vomit because the pain hurt so bad. So living in that kind of state every single day, I can't imagine. Tara, let me know if that's come down from an 8 or a 9 in the very current circumstance. If you're safe to do it, and if you're able to gently try some of the movements that usually kind of exhibit some of that pain. I don't want you to overdo anything. I don't want you to put your, yeah, no, I don't want you to put yourself into a circumstance where you increase your pain for any reason. But if there's a certain movement or you walk around to let me know if you're any less than an 8 or 9, if that's safe for you to do. Okay. Um, I'm just going to start checking a little bit to get prepared. I can do another really quick round on you if we need. And yes, thank you for the reminder, Susie. There are links for me there for full appointments. I am running a special on some prices that you'll find in there, and that'll go until Tuesday next week. So I would love to be able to give a full half hour or hour session if anybody is in need. So, um, okay, you will. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate you just checking on that. Um, where are we? Sarah is who will be next. All ready for her. Oh, there I see you, Sarah. Question Spirit, can you see a house move? I will certainly check into that. Thank you, Susie. Appreciate that. Yeah, Tara, let me know if you maybe need just one more going down some. Let me do one more really, really quick. It'll only take me like maybe 1 to 2 minutes. And I'm gonna get quiet chat if you don't mind hanging tight with me. I'm feeling quiet to try to do a technique. Hang with me, guys. Almost there. Hmm. Okay. Most of that is finished. I can feel just a little bit more coming through my hand, my left hand. So I'm going to let that finish running. And okay, Sarah, you're going to ask, we see a house move for you. Tara, let me know how that's feeling. And again, it's not uncommon people over the next 20 or 30 minutes afterwards, while that integrates a little bit more into your body to even have just a little more reduction of the pain level. So let me know, if you were the 8 or 9 before, about where you're at right now, if you wouldn't mind doing that. I would appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to appreciate it. Okay, let me disconnect with Tara, and then we're going to check on Sarah, the potential house move. And then one more after that. Wait, let me disconnect. Donna is going to be last. Okay, let's get Sarah's energy. Sarah, house move. Okay, let me say how it's coming up first. We'll see if there's anything more that comes in. There's a sense of something that has the potential to be coming, but I do want to say it does not feel immediate or imminent. If I had to do my best on the energy in a timeline, uh, it's actually feeling probably 6 months or slightly more. It's almost like I can see the sense of like reaching out because it is just like beyond grasp in current state. It does not feel like it is incredibly close. Um, I also want to say when it does come, there's a feeling around it of that it will meet your needs, but it may not be everything you wish. But it is going to meet your needs. It is going to give you the gist of what it is that you really need. Uh, I don't think well, I guess we're going to have to settle with this one because there is something about it that actually does have energetic support for that to be a good place for you to go. So don't kind of talk yourselves out of it just for the very purpose of, it doesn't have everything that we want. Um, it really will end up meeting your needs. There's actually, now that I'm kind of talking into it too, there's actually a feeling of like it really, really feeling like home. Like I actually have a warmth coming up in my heart space. It's really going to feel like home once you get in there. And those little things that you kind of felt like weren't really meeting your list items are gonna you're almost gonna like laugh about them. You're almost gonna be like, it's not a big deal. This is everything we need. We feel comfortable. It's like the energy fits me for this space. Let me check one more time and just see if there's anything else. I also want to say there's something coming up. It's actually popping in specifically as around 4-ish months or so. It feels like missed opportunity, but your interpretation of it is missed opportunity. Um, and that it actually is better that that opportunity does not work out, that you don't get there in time, or you don't get to make a bid, or you don't get to be chosen, whatever the case may be, whether it's a purchase or a rental, that there's you feeling like it's a missed opportunity ends up actually being the right way for it to go. And then a little bit further down past that is when you will find the space that ends up actually feeling much more like home for you. Um, so I don't know how much context you may currently have, whether anything around that could potentially make sense or not, but I hope that that does help you at least a little bit. The intention is always to prepare you. You have free will to make a different choice. You can look at that and go, forget it, Leigh's crazy. I want to do this. I want to take this one because it came up and it's available, what have you. You can do that. You can make free will choice anytime you want. But the energy support is how it's showing up. So I hope that that gives you some information to go by so that you can kind of feel a little more settled about the process. So, okay. Thank you, Tara. Okay, and I know that we're going to have Donna. Donna, having left foot issues along with knee issues. Okay. All right. Donna's going to be our last one for tonight, guys. I want to make sure that I'm always using good energy. It has been a wild and crazy day, so I appreciate anybody and everybody who has stuck around for all of this for me. So, Donna, left foot issues. Let me just disconnect from this briefly. Okay. Donna, just real quickly, confirm for me too. I'm going to dip into your energy and connect right now, but I'm going into your left foot first. Is the knee where you say and knee issues? Is that also left? Is that both? Is that right? So let me get into the left foot. This is interesting. Is there something like along the outer ledge of the foot? Like if this is the left foot, it's like the outer ledge from like the pinky around that side. There's something that's like bringing my attention that down to, oh, real quickly, Tara, down to a 6 or 7. I would love for you to be able to tell me a 0, but if you're living in an 8, 9 all day long, every single day, I would take 6 or 7. I hope that that sticks with you, and I hope that you get even a little bit more over the next little bit of time. And I hope that you sleep well because of comfort. I'm so happy, Tara. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Donna, let me know if it's that like there's something about that outer ledge of the foot that's really coming up. I'm just going to start kind of like scraping through that. Oh, my fingertips are even. You're welcome, Tara. Thank you. My fingertips are even kind of like lighting up, scraping through that area. um, I'm I'm wondering about the front of the ankle a little bit too. It feels just tight, just generally tight. I'm going to send some energy in here. So, Donna, if you have the ability in the chat, know if any of that makes sense for you. Things are definitely turning on a whole lot. So I'm just sending the energy in. If I don't get to see exactly which knee, I will take a look energetically what's coming up in just a moment when I'm done with it. Still running it through. It's running a good bit of energy through. So. I'm just going to let this keep running. It's actually still going on, so I hope she's still here. I know that there's a little bit of a delay. Okay, that's next. Okay. Okay. All right, that's finished up. I don't know if you had chatted or not, Donna. I hope you're okay. I hope that that can be helpful. Hey, you know what? If you left the chat and your your foot feels better tonight, it's still a win. Do anything about the knee unless Donna's going to be dancing. Like, I think we may actually have everybody completed now. Donna's the one who said, I came in and everything worked. That's funny. We may actually have everybody done. Donna, I'm going to give you like 1 or 2 more minutes. If anybody is still in the chat and wants to actually just sort of ask any kind of general spirit questions too, questions about, the chakras or how energy healing works or stories of mediumship and, evidence during mediumship. And, uh, not, I also anybody who's still here with me, I wanna, give you the appreciation that you so very much deserve, and, here. Yeah. Okay. Well, Donna, I hope that if you are still here, even if you had a difficult time putting a chat in, I hope that you're still feeling I did take care of everybody, thank you. I hope you're still feeling well from it. And like I said, hopefully you get to dance tonight. Um, Again, anybody who's still around, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being patient at the beginning. The tech difficulties were interesting. And hopefully the next time will be a lot more smooth. We'll be a lot more prepared. And I am alive. I'm very, very much of it. Yeah. Again, if you need an astrologer, check out Susie Evolutionary. She's on here too. So I appreciate all you guys so very much. Thank you for joining tonight. My very first ever live stream with doing something like this. Denise, you're so welcome. Thank you for joining. Tara, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye, everyone.